Hello, fight fans. Seattle Mike of MMA with Friends here. Everybody, please hit that like button, or I will crawl underneath your house and turn your hot water heater off, and you'll be taking cold showers for days until you figure out what's going on. Make sure you're subscribed, and don't forget to ring that bell so you're notified whenever I drop a new video or go live, like our live fight reaction for UFC 260. Stipe Miocic versus Francis Ngannou 2 with trivia. Tell your friends. Guys, something I wanted to talk about today was this situation with Dan Hardy. For those of you that don't know, Dan Hardy was recently released from the UFC. His entire Raptor media team had their press passes pulled. And apparently it was due to a disagreement with the UFC female employee, and we really weren't told anything else. So thank you to MMA Junkie and the Wrestling Observer. I'm just going to start with this article. The Wrestling Observer first reported that Hardy had been let go from both the UFC and BT Sport following a disagreement with a female UFC employee. I don't know exactly what that disagreement was, but it was during the promotion's most recent Fight Island run back in January. Well, it's March 11th today, so this is, 2 months later. I just heard maybe last week that he was let go. Hardy said he believes that reconciliation with the UFC is possible. Regarding his standing with BT Sport, Hardy said that he hasn't been fired and that the media entity is trying to work with him in some capacity. So that's good news. I'm glad I didn't report it. I threw Wrestling Observer under the bus, so they reported it. Additionally, Hardy shared details of the incident with UFC employees, saying the disagreement was forthright but not aggressive. Hardy also revealed his filming crew from his YouTube channel, Full Reptile, had its media credentials revoked. This is really sad because Dan Hardy, he does such great work. He's such a great analyst. He's such a great commentator. And this guy is just constantly working, breaking down film. For those of you that are over in Europe, Great Britain, that area, you know how late you have to stay up to watch some of these UFC events, and this guy's doing work after the event for hours. I've heard him saying sometimes he's up till 9, 10 in the morning. So let's read it from Dan Hardy's mouth himself. This is the full statement. Apologies for my silence on this current situation. I'm still chasing answers privately, and it's taking some time. This is what I can say at this point. It was a verbal disagreement between myself and a member of the UFC staff. It was forthright but not aggressive and specific to work. I would really like to know what that conversation was. I have apologized to the individual for the embarrassment they must have felt. So that is an acknowledgement that he knows this must have embarrassed this female. As a small handful of our colleagues from the British media were present, we were taking a brief break from recording UFC 258 content a few hours after the Holloway Couture event had concluded, so they got to be freaking exhausted. They've already done the entire event, and this is several hours afterwards when the disagreement occurred. The conversation could have definitely taken place in a better location and under better circumstances. So it sounds like they're doing this in front of a lot of UFC personnel. BT Sport has not fired me and are still keen on working with me in some capacity. So it sounds like they are pulling him back some, but the reason that they're not working with him in the full capacity that they were before could just simply be they're not using him in UFC content until that situation with the UFC is reconciled, if it is. Thank you for all your support and the comments across their accounts. They are paying attention and making efforts, although there's pressure to push me out entirely. I don't know who this is coming from, but we all know the cancel culture of what's going on. And obviously, this employee, something was said to her. She has the right to anonymity, but, maybe some of the pushback's coming from her. That's total speculation on my part. The Raptors, which is what Dan Hardy calls his incredible media crew, they were quarantined for 3 weeks in order to attend UFC 259, but had their credentials revoked. So we're diversifying our content a little and appreciate your subs and support. Great channel, by the way. Has been suggested that a reconciliation between myself and the UFC is possible, and of course, I hope that is the case. I have yet to speak or hear from Dana and get a better understanding of his perspective of the situation. So if he hasn't spoken to Dana, I'm curious who he has spoken to, but maybe someone speaking on Dana's behalf. Maybe he was speaking through that person. There's a lot of people that Dana White has to speak to nowadays. You got 700 fighters on the roster. Then you have, who knows how many other UFC employees, but I imagine it's got to be well over 100, with the new training institute, with analysts and photography people, and you guys can see the production. It takes a lot of people to have that kind of production. The results of this brief and private investigation has left me little closure and hope that at some point I'm able to get more information of what I've actually been accused. So not only do me and you not know what he's been accused of, he's saying he doesn't even realize what he's being accused of. But he did say earlier that he said something that the female employee must have been embarrassed for, and for that he apologizes. I'm forever a fan of the UFC and dedicated in service of MMA. I appreciate all your kind words and support, both privately and publicly, and have lots of exciting offers to consider. With respect and gratitude, the Outlaw. I'd be interested to know where those offers are coming from. I think this would be a big loss for the UFC. Obviously, they have a lot of great analysts. They have a lot of great production people. They're going to get by without Dan Hardy. I really would continue to love to see him in the broadcast booth. I wanted to see his comeback fight. He had been training. He hasn't been in the UFC since he was 29 years old, left in 2012. He is only 38, though. Obviously, there's quite a few fighters that are still fighting at 38. His career originally took a halt when he was diagnosed with a heart condition. But I can say from personal experience, when you're speaking for hours and hours and hours, and I mean, this is 2 hours after an entire UFC event. So who knows how long his day had been, but I imagine a lot of pre-stuff before the UFC. And then, this card, I think I was streaming for this card for 6 hours, and I didn't even do the early prelims. So very long card, and then hours afterwards. I mean, I've said things on this show that I don't even remember saying. Or I've said things and then I listen back to them, or somebody says something and I just say, I literally misspoke. That's not what I had thought I said. It's not what I had meant to say. But for whatever reason, sometimes when you're speaking so much, just the wrong words come out, to put it bluntly. And I don't know what the situation was there, but I guarantee you I've offended some people on this channel, and if I didn't said some of those things in front of the wrong people, it might not just be YouTube that's trying to cancel me. Speaking of that, for those of you who don't know, we've talked recently that this channel, I believe, seems to have been significantly suppressed. I am working with YouTube, though, on getting back in good graces, and they have assured me that there is a plan to get back up in the rankings. There is a path to redemption, if you will. So I'm not giving up on the channel. Please don't give up on me. I do want to step back and apologize, I guess, if I was too hasty in saying, that I was leaving YouTube or I was thinking about leaving YouTube. I definitely was at the time. It definitely was, a real human moment. And I definitely had that consideration. For those that don't know, the last UFC, Israel Adesanya with Jan Blachowicz, it definitely should have been one of our biggest streams in a very long time. It was one of the biggest UFCs ever. There was a lot of streams out there that got a lot of views. This one got just over 1,000. To put that in perspective, the first Francis Ngannou versus Stipe Miocic fight, which I feel was a similarly big stream, got about 43,000 views. The TJ Dillashaw versus Henry Cejudo stream, I believe, got about 52,000 views. So when I got 1,000, that's way less than we've ever had for a pay-per-view fight companion. We frequently now have the ESPN Plus cards that run around the 500 mark. Sometimes you'll have a big jump, and sometimes it's not real obvious why there was that jump. But subscribers are starting to come up a little bit. YouTube's starting to recommend a lot of my older videos, which is great. The way you can help me, guys, is, any suggestions that you have. But please, if I'm captivating you, if the whole video is worth watching, I do ask that you watch the video until the end. Don't forget to hit the like button. I know as YouTubers we're always saying that, but it really does make a difference for me right now. YouTube told me they're looking at watch time, views, and interaction on the channel. So if you have a take on this situation or anything else at all, please don't hesitate to comment down there in the comment section. I just thank you guys all for your continuous support. March 9th marked the 4-year anniversary from the first channel that I uploaded on this channel, or first video that I uploaded on this channel. So even though that was, a great milestone, maybe in some people's opinions, it also coming right before that 4-year anniversary, and then to see that dud of a stream, it was really disheartening. But I'm picking myself back up, and we'll be just fine. I just appreciate all your guys' support. Please continue to share this channel and to follow me over on Twitter. I think that is going to be a key to growing this channel. Definitely your retweets. That's going to be the biggest thing. If you have any following over there, please retweet and share this on those social media platforms. Anytime I have a video that you like, if it's or a live stream coming up, definitely help me a lot, and I appreciate it greatly, as well as I appreciate all of the generous donations from last week's stream. And I think I've been long-winded enough, guys. Thank you for your time. Thanks for tuning in for another video. I look forward to hearing your guys' opinions on this situation. As always, I love you. I respect you. And I'll see your fine asses next time.